Hello, everybody, and welcome to the latest Phase 3 Meets episode. It's always great and a pleasure to catch up with my next guest, a very charming individual. He's a project consultant with over 20 years of experience across business projects, change, transformational projects and programs. He's an industry influencer in the HRTech space, and he's also the founder of HRTech247. So a very warm welcome to you, Mr. Bob Rehill. How are you?
I'm good, thank you, Asad. Thank you very much for having me today. Appreciate that.
I always pronounce it HRTech247. Is that how you do it yourself, or is it 247?
We don't mind, but it's the principle is obviously we're online 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So HRTech 247, 24/7, whatever you want to call it, Asad. Leave it with you.
All adds up to 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Right. Yeah, brilliant. Okay, so why don't we start with you giving us all an overview of HRTech247 and what it is you guys do.
Yeah, no, thanks for that. So Asad, as you know, I've spent the last 15, 20 years in transformation projects and, helping organizations through everything to do with transformation, right? Everything from visioning or, where they're trying to get to as an organization through to, technologies reviews, looking at system selection, running RFPs, and then through implementation. And I think over those sort of 15, 20 years, built some fantastic relationships, and we've done some fantastic global projects as an organization. And one of the things that we keep meeting at Azad is tech conferences, right? We go to them all. We go to the ones at Excel, the ones in Birmingham, the ones in Manchester, and even overseas. I've been to Paris and the US, etc. And there's some fantastic online conferences. But what's been hitting me for the last couple of years really is, sometimes people just want to go to find out information, right? They're at the early stages of their journey about thinking, well, we might want to change what we're doing. And also, let's be honest, we go to these conferences and you go in through the front door and you get smack bang with the large players, right? Because they can afford the 100,000 or whatever it costs to be at these events. But some of these fantastic startups and these smaller businesses that can't afford that sort of cost of exhibiting at these exhibitions are stuck at the back, right, in a little small stand and really don't get the visibility. And I just think there needs to be something, and I came up with the idea, there needs to be something that really gives people an equal space, but actually showcases what they do rather than how much money they've got in their marketing budget, right? And really for me, I wanted to create something that was online 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, where you can just go and get some information and just find out about who's in the HR technology space today. Yeah. So that was really the driver behind it, Asad.
And how long were you thinking of this in the background? Is it something that kind of just popped into your head one day, or is it like a kind of evolutionary process, or what was the kind of background?
It was probably early 2019. I was sitting there, thinking there's got to be a different way, because I was going to lots of conferences. I was saying, look, I know a lot of these players, but actually, as a toolkit, even I didn't have access to everyone in one place, right? If I wanted to go and look at what a Workday or an Oracle or an SAP SuccessFactors was doing, or even a Cornerstone, they've all got, I used to go to their sites or used to get information, or I used to have my own connections with them. I thought, wouldn't it be great just to have one place where I can even show my clients, hovering over them and look at the players in the marketplace. Why don't we explore? So I was talking about it in my mind, and then April 2019, I scribbled something on a piece of paper on the back of a fag packet, as they will say, and I went to
Best ideas always come around that way.
They do. And I went to the web company and I said, I want to do this. And they said, you're bonkers, Bob, right? And I said, I've got a very clear picture. I want to create this online directory of people, but I want to create it as if they're going into a conference, because we're all used to that, going into a conference and feeling that vibe and seeing seminars and walking the floor. And I just wanted to create that experience as well as just an online directory. So that's, it really kickstarted in April 2019 as a concept. And that's when we started the journey.
I mean, your timing couldn't have been better, really, with global events of the last 12 months or so. What do you think are the future of physical events now, then? Based on, obviously, and we're going to come back to kind of HRTech in a second and 247, but in terms of physical events, do you think they'll ever come back?
Well, so I think the short answer is yes, they will, Asad. I think there is absolutely a place for physical events, and I'm still an advocate of that. And I think you can't beat the connecting with people. I just don't think you can do that online as easily as people do in a conference. And when you go to an event and you meet people and you just have a chat or a coffee and you connect and you just have that feed off each other, and I think that will always exist. And we're people based, organization, and we love talking to people, we love our coffee, and I just think you will get the events coming back. I do think there'll be a change. I do think people will be more mindful of going to these larger events, especially over the next 12 to 24 months, because we're still not over the pandemic, and who knows what happens. So there'll be still some people in the background that will be thinking, should we do anything? But I think physical events will come back. I think the smaller, more niche events that have more round tables, smaller audiences will definitely be valued, but you can't beat the connection. And again, we're not trying to compete with that. We think there's a space for what we do, but there's also a space for the physical events to still network and meet people.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree with you on that. I think moving forward, there'll be much more of a kind of hybrid approach. I think some of the events companies have already started doing online bits and pieces, webinars, seminars, roundtables, as you said already. My concern is the level of confidence, and part of these events, you and I meet at an event, we shake hands, we sit down, we have a drink together. How long is it going to take for you to get up that confidence again to shake hands with somebody at an event? You're not going to ask, oh, can I see your vaccine certificate? It's just not going to happen, is it? And I think obviously COVID has fast forwarded, if you like, that kind of change and that innovation that we're seeing now with the likes of Zoom, and obviously this is being recorded on Teams, and the amount of webinars and seminars that we are doing, that you guys are doing, that everyone else is doing. It's just so much more convenient. It's so much more convenient, and it's at the touch of a button. And so I do worry about the events industry.
Really feel sorry for them, and it's going to be a challenge. But at the same time, we've all got to move on. We've got to innovate. We've got to try new things, and I'm sure those that have done that will come through. There'll still be a place for events in the future. But you're right, Asad, over the next 12, 18, 24 months, things are going to change. Will there be as many events? Probably not. And the world will be different, and we just got to move on and innovate and be creative.
Okay, so again, in the introduction, I said obviously you're a HR tech influencer, which absolutely I certainly think you are, as does the market. Where do you think we're heading with HR tech now? There's obviously a lot of M&A activity and stuff like that, but where do you think we're heading with the actual tech, Bob?
Well, listen, look, we keep. It's an interesting conversation, and I talk to many clients about it, but also to the technologists in these tech companies, and it's fast moving, right? We're always thinking about the organizations always think about what can they do differently, what can one tech do different to another. We've heard some recent acquisitions through some large companies going forward, and I just think that's going to be the journey going forward. We know that over 1,000 startups a year typically happen in the HR tech industry. These are small apps through to sort of large organizations, and they can scale up very quickly. So it's going to continue at that pace. I don't think it's going to change. I think the HR tech industry really does look at not just the transactional side anymore. They think about the well-being side. The mental health is a big growth area at the moment. So we're going to continue to see innovation in the wider aspects of HR, not just about the transactional side. I think the transactional side has got the players, but it's about what's the additional bit. So I'm really excited that you continue to see startups and people coming up with great innovation. And as long as that continues, then as an industry, it's just going to continue to grow for me.
It's a great place to be, isn't it? At the moment, I think some of the innovation that we're seeing is honestly, it's top notch. Like you said, some of the wellness stuff, the mental health, obviously from a payroll point of view, the kind of financial well-being and stuff tied into it as well. And it's really exciting. I think anything that gives the smaller players an opportunity and a chance, similar to HRTech247, is fantastic. Anything to upset the apple cart of the big boys. Love it.
Exactly.
Love the underdogs. Always do. So obviously HRTech247 is still in its infancy, but what can we expect to see from you, Bob, and the team in 2021 and beyond?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, I couldn't have expected the journey to be this quick. And you're right. We did sort of launch almost at the right time, with the pandemic. In a way, actually, sometimes that's restricted us because we've now become just another online place where everyone else is going. But, we're only 9 months old from launch. We only launched in April 2020, right? And all the large players are on the platforms, 70, 80 global vendors now on the platform. We're hitting 17, 18,000 visits a quarter to the site, and people are starting to use it to generate inquiries or get information. For me, we can't stop. It's still and I constantly talk to the team that work with me about what's next, right? And we're really driving out the community aspect. We're saying, well, actually, we've got a big community now that are following us, and that everyone from LinkedIn to Instagram to Facebook followers, and the people coming to the site. So what can we do, and how do we start to listen to the people that come into the platform? What can we do that helps them? We generated a job board over a couple of months ago because people said, if it's the HR tech industry, why can't you advertise some jobs in those industries? And so we've done that, and we've put that in place, and we're now looking at a community where we can create forums and chats and really start to engage the community a lot more. So that's exciting over the next 5 to 6 months. And we'll keep engaging with the vendors that are on the platform and seeing what they've got, what ideas they've got. Well, you guys, right? You guys are on there as well. Thank you for being supporters. But we'll reach out to people like yourself and say, what do you think we can be doing? Because I don't have all the answers. But between us, we can definitely continue to make this, the place to go globally for HR tech information for me.
Fantastic, and I think you will achieve it. I really do. I think there's certainly a marketplace for it, and I wish you every success in terms of the innovation and the longevity that's needed. And looking forward to seeing some of the developments that you come out with this year and beyond as well, Bob. So thank you very much for that. We're going to move on to the quickfire round. This is where we get to know a little bit more about you, Bob. Not sure if that's such a good idea. Yeah, you better have a gulp of water.
Right, let's have it.
Right, okay, so you can be as long or short with these answers as you want. It's totally your choice. Okay, so what's your favorite food?
Oh, it's got to be an Indian butter chicken with some naans and oil dripping down my hands, and just really eating it the way it should be done. That you can't beat a good curry and naan.
Orange fingers.
Orange fingers,
at the end of it on your nails and stuff. Oh yeah, I'm getting hungry. It's near lunchtime. Okay, favorite TV show?
I've got quite a few. I like a lot of. I'm big into Netflix at the moment. Maybe more because we've been at home. But I love some of these. The song, Britain's Got Talent and The Voice and things like that. So I love my music. And really that sort of the music stuff really does get me at the moment, I said.
Okay, well, we'll stay on that theme. Favorite band?
Oh, probably. Oh, again. So probably. Currently, I'm probably a big Ed Sheeran fan.
Okay, yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
But if I was going back to the 70s, 80s, I was probably a Shalimar or that sort of era, Alexander O'Neill sort of thing.
Okay, bit of funk.
Bit of funk.
And yeah, cool. Okay, so quite an eclectic taste of music there. Okay, cool. Sports teams. What's your favorite sports team?
Well, Spurs, but God help them at the moment. But Spurs is my team of choice.
Wow. Okay, I feel for you. I'm a United fan, so you've got our ex-manager. My God, good luck with that.
Yeah, so big football fan, and then cricket. I love cricket, and India all the way for me.
Okay.
Unless England are playing someone else other than India, then I'll support England as well. But India otherwise. Brilliant.
All right. Apple or Samsung?
I'm definitely Apple all the way through. iPhones
all the way through. Whole family?
No, my oldest son is actually Samsung.
Okay.
But we make our own choices. But I'm not going to change now. Right. Too much of a change for me.
Okay. Next question. Which car best describes you?
Wow, this is an interesting question, Hassad. I think I'm probably just a run-of-the-mill, just a simple, I don't know, an A-class Mercedes or something. I like to go around unnoticed a little bit, but I like to have a bit of the guilty pleasures and have a nice car.
Okay.
But I'm not a sports, supercar type person, but just something that gets me around from A to B, but in some style. So we're typically sort of an A-class or a C-class type Mercedes.
Okay, good choices. Good choices. What was your favourite subject in school, Bob?
It was actually technical drawing. I actually wanted to start my life as being an architect. That was where I was.
Okay.
I used to love drawing and technical drawing as well. And so architecture was my favorite subject.
Wow, brilliant. I can see the Bob Rehill signature in the background there. It looks very slick. I always wish that I had a decent signature. Honestly, it's awful. It's like a 3-year-old's done it. It's so bad.
That's not my professional. Cool. That's actually not my signature.
Is it not? Oh, so you're disappointed. You could have carried on that little story then. You could have made that sound really good. Fair enough. Okay. Final question. What is your favorite HRTech software?
Well, it's interesting. I think and being an influencer across the marketplace, we actually are very independent. And I think all organizations have a different need. And so I think the market really does suit everyone, and I love what Oracle have been doing recently. I love what SuccessFactors have been doing, and I love what Workday do. But are those three all right for every industry? Probably not, or every client? No. There's some great places where Workday does the best thing, and somewhere Oracle. But then, you know what? There are some fantastic startups. We're doing some work with people like Support Rooms and the mental health place. Fantastic what they're doing. But then, you've got other Peakon and all of those ones. Well, Peakon now acquired by Workday. But there's so many apps there, and that's what I love about what I do, because I don't have a favorite, but I love learning about them all and just seeing how do you put them together in an organization to get what they want as well.
Yeah. Okay, good. That's a nice way of not answering the question, Bob.
Should have become a politician, right?
Yeah. How are those splinters getting on? No, listen, honestly, it's always nice to catch up, and I do look forward to the day where we actually do meet for a coffee and a handshake at a physical event as well. But thank you so much for your time. I urge everybody watching this to get on the HRTech 247 platform. Go to the website, follow you guys on social media. You'll find phase 3 on there as well, as we're definitely listed. So once you've decided which software you want to discuss, you can always give phase 3 a call, and we'll help you in the selection and the implementation side of that. So again, thank you so much for your time, Bob. It's always good to catch up. Really is a pleasure, and I wish you guys nothing but success moving forward. Thank you so much for your time. All the best.
Thank you, I said. Appreciate that.
Yes. Bye-bye.